Hello, welcome to the second star cookie in our series, Mrs. Claus. Subscribe to my channel to see the rest of the star-shaped Christmas cookies. It will make a fun holiday set. I started out by using my Scribe to outline where I wanted the hair to go on Mrs. Claus. Then, using a skin tone, I outlined the hair and the rest of the star-shaped cookie for the face and flooded that area in. My icing is a little bit thin, so I didn't go all the way to the edges because I was afraid it would overflow. Instead, I used my Scribe, or you can use a toothpick, to bring the icing out to the edges if your icing is a little bit thin. My icing was probably about a 10-second consistency. I let the face dry for at least 10 minutes, and then I outlined the area for the hair. My white royal icing is about a 15 to 20 second consistency, so it's a bit thicker, so I was able to go right up to the edges, and I'm kind of jiggling the icing as I go to help it settle down and lay flat. Because the icing is thicker, I'm also going to use my Scribe to jiggle the icing and help it lay flat along the edges. I want to pipe in Mrs. Claus's glasses, and I want it to be right at the intersection of the star on the two sides and go up a little bit in the middle. So I made a little dot with my Scribe of where I wanted the center to be. Then I piped a line. If your line isn't perfect, you can take a damp paintbrush and wipe off any excess water on a paper towel and kind of smooth out your line or push it where you want it to go. That's easy to do with stiffer icing. Using black royal icing in a 15-second consistency, I piped in some dots for the eyes. Then I put a little bit of white royal icing on my tray, and using my Scribe, put a highlight in both eyes. Using Elite Color by the Sugar Art in Aurora Rose, I dabbed some on a paintbrush and shook off the excess on a paper towel. Then I gave Mrs. Claus some rosy cheeks. It's always better to do a little bit than to do too much. You can always add more color. Using gold edible paint, I painted Mrs. Claus's glasses. I'll leave the link in the description for the product I used. And let's not forget to give her a cute little nose. Using red royal icing in about a 25-second consistency, I piped a bow in her hair. To make her mouth, I used a red edible marker and dragged my paintbrush across the tip and painted on a mouth. The marker's too fat to make the mouth that I wanted, so I painted it on using this method. I decided I wanted to put a holly leaf on the bow, so using a tiny 101S tip, I made little tiny upside down U's in the shape of holly leaves. I did about 3 or 4, and then I put a red dot in the middle. You can also do this on parchment paper and then let it dry before putting it on the cookie like a sprinkle. That way you don't mess up your cookie if you don't like how it turned out. Using Super Black Edible Airbrush Color by Americolor, I gave Mrs. Claus some eyelashes and a little smile line under her eyes. And Mrs. Claus is done. She's so cute! Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see the next cookie in the Star series, the Gingerbread Man. Thanks for watching.